Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCW Life Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And what a beautiful day. After kind of a rainy start around most of the Wenatchee Valley, we did see clearing skies right through our noon hour and most of the afternoon. Still a few lingering clouds as we take a look at the beautiful Wenatchee Valley, I believe from our Omi Gardens camera. And this was the size of that storm as we take a look at a shot of the cloud cover from Google Map this morning. There was a huge storm system that moved through. It's continuing to move to the northeast, and that's why we did see those clearing skies today. And I'm telling you, it's going to make for a beautiful weather weekend, and especially the first few days of next week. And we'll tell you about that nice weather headed our way a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. A one-vehicle crash near Locomotive Park in Wenatchee snarled traffic for a time this morning, and Wenatchee residents are being advised to keep your pets close after a family finds a would-be thief in the backyard of their home. But first, we begin tonight. Last night, Governor Jay Inslee put a halt to a bill seeking to exempt Washington lawmakers from the state's Public Records Act just hours before the bill was set to become law. Legislators also agreed to take another vote to override that veto. Inslee issued a statement saying, quote, "I believe the legislature's overwhelming vote on the bill was a good faith attempt to increase disclosure and transparency." Letters signed by House and Senate Democrats and delivered to Inslee said legislators made a mistake by failing to go through a full public hearing process. In his statement, Inslee went on to say he told legislators he would let the bill become a law if they delivered it with enough votes to override a veto, but added a quote that was, "Before I saw the process, which failed to meet public expectations for openness and delivered a bill that fell short." Well, a one-car crash near Locomotive Park in Wenatchee around rush hour this morning completely destroyed an older model Dodge Dakota pickup and snarled traffic for a short time. Captain Edgar Reinfeld of the Wenatchee Police Department explains what happened.
Before 8 o'clock this morning, a vehicle that was westbound on the George Siller Bridge took the second off-ramp into Wenatchee. So the first one drops down to Wenatchee Avenue. The second one goes on to Crescent Street and connects over to Ferry Street. The vehicle appears to have been going quite a bit too fast for the off-ramp and skipped off the Jersey wall on the left side of the street as you come off the off-ramp a couple of times before skipping over and rolling onto its side inside Locomotive Park in the south end of Wenatchee. The vehicle tore up a bunch of fence and actually killed one small tree that had been planted in the park in the last couple of years.
Captain Reinfeld says the driver of the truck was 33-year-old Brady Muschlitz of East Wenatchee. Muschlitz was not seriously hurt in the accident, and Captain Reinfeld said as the crash investigation continues, Muschlitz most likely will be charged with speeding. Wenatchee residents are being advised to keep your pets close after a family finds a would-be thief in the backyard of their home. Police say it happened Wednesday at a residence in the 1000 block of 7th Street. A family member reported a Hispanic male driving a black full-size pickup truck stopped at their home and entered their yard. The suspect was carrying a leash as he approached their dog, who was secured in the yard. The man left the property after being confronted by the family members. As he was leaving, the homeowner noticed several leashes inside the vehicle. And if you have information on this vehicle or individual, please call Rivercom at 509-663-9911 or, of course, 911 in an emergency. Well, the Big Bend Community College filled the Advanced Technologies Education Center in Moses Lake with potential new hires on March 1st, with positions available on a broad spectrum of skill levels. Employers like Gigawatt, the Washington State Patrol, Boeing, and Samaritan Healthcare turned out with some even offering a wide range of positions. The Big Bend Job and Career Fair was open to all students and members of the community, including Dreamers and DACA recipients. Last year, the fair drew in over 1,600 visitors, 61 employers, and landed over 200 new hires. Coming up next, Wenatchee Apple Blossom's Junior Royalty Court has found their queen. And Congressman Dan Newhouse took the House floor Monday to honor a Grant County fire captain and battalion chief who died back in January. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Evening News.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
Lake Chelan mailboxes find solutions and the best price for all your shipping needs, including UPS, FedEx, and the U.S. Postal Service. We offer a variety of services including quality copies of all sizes, faxing, scanning, sending and receiving email, laminating, and notarizing. Enjoy browsing through our large selection of greeting cards. Lake Chelan mailboxes supports our military, fire victims, and our community. Come see us at the Plaza in Lake Chelan.
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X4 offers 4 times the proven off-road capability, 4 times the comfort, and 4 times the confidence to deliver 4 times the excitement on your next outdoor adventure.
Welcome back. In another news, Wenatchee's Apple Blossom's Junior Royalty Court has found their queen. NCW Life's Jay Seebeck has more.
During lunch at the Valley Academy of Learning, Apple Blossom Queen Greta Wiersma walked into the cafeteria and announced that Rachel Carter would serve as the 2018 Apple Blossom Junior Royalty Queen.
Congratulations to Rachel Carter for being selected as the 2018 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival Junior Royalty Queen.
Rachel Carter was crowned by last year's Junior Royalty Queen, another Valley Academy student, Anika Arrow. This makes for the 5th time in 7 years that a student from the Valley Academy was selected to be a member of the Junior Royalty Court. After being crowned, Rachel was able to take pictures with friends and hug loved ones before she moved on with the Apple Blossom Troop, ushering in her reign as Junior Royalty Queen. With NCW Life News, I'm Jay Seebeck.
Thank you, Jay, and congratulations again to Rachel Carter, who is your 2018 Apple Blossom Junior Royalty Queen. Congressman Dan Newhouse took the House floor Monday to honor a Grant County fire captain and battalion chief who died in January after serious injuries from an industrial accident at his part-time job at Moses Lake Industries last December.
I rise today to honor the life and service of Grant County Fire District Battalion Chief Dan DeShawn of Moses Lake, Washington. Dan passed away on January 8th, 2018. Dan was a husband, a father, a friend, and a highly respected fire service member. His love of firefighting and his dedication to his community was evident in his 15 years of volunteer service at both the Grant County Fire District 13 as well as District 5, where he eventually secured his dream job of shift captain. Local firefighters, members of his team, and the community will remember him for his leadership, humility, and commitment to keeping the citizens of Grant County safe. My prayers and sincere condolences go out to his family and his friends and all those affected by his passing during this difficult time.
Newhouse closed by thanking DeShawn for his inspirational service to Washington State. Well, this first weekend of March is filled with fun activities in North Central Washington. NCW Life's Megan McPherson tells us about all the fun events to take in this weekend.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. The skies over Winthrop will brighten with the brilliant colors of over a dozen hot air balloons March 2 to 4. While many balloon festivals are held in the summertime, the Winthrop Balloon Festival allows visitors to experience the Methow Valley's world-class recreational pursuits of Nordic skiing, snowshoeing, backcountry skiing, snowmobiling, and sledding. More than 1,500 Special Olympics athletes will represent various Washington hometowns at the 2018 Special Olympics Washington Winter Games in Wenatchee, March 2 to March 4. Opening ceremonies will be held at the Town Toyota Center on Friday, March 2 at 8 p.m. All events are free to the general public. Athletes from across the state will converge in Wenatchee, at Mission Ridge Ski Resort, and in Leavenworth to compete in 6 sports during the 3-day event: alpine skiing, cross-country skiing, figure skating, snowboarding, and basketball. The Mobile Meals Spring Variety Show is happening Friday night, March 2 at the Numerica Performing Arts Center. This show will feature Mariachi Wenatchee, Wenatchee Apollo Club, Levi Watts, Fabulous Feet Dance Studio, CRMC Ukulele Group, Acro Gals, DBB Bongo Brothers, Cody Lane, Guys and Dolls, and more. Doors open at 6 and the actual show starts at 7 p.m. Head to Pybus Market for Nick's Bricks, the annual Lego building event, from 10 to 3 on Saturday, March 3. There will be both casual building times and competitive events throughout the day. Bring your own Legos to this event for all ages. And finally, the Columbia Choral will present a concert of music representing American composers from the 18th century to the present on Saturday, March 3. The concert starts at 7 p.m. at the Grace Lutheran Church in Wenatchee. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, your sports update with Eric Granstrom and our feature story tonight. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
With the whole family online these days, speed matters. Good thing LocalTel has the consistent speeds it takes to keep everyone happy. In the den with a tablet, streaming a movie in HD, on the home office computer, and using Wi-Fi on a smartphone instead of using up your data plan. It can all happen at once with no waiting. Speed matters. Call or visit LocalTel online to get set up with high-speed internet today.
Papa Murphy's presents a fresh take on unbaked. Who wants an unbaked pizza? You do. Because unbaked means unprocessed dough and unfrozen vegetables, all prepared fresh by us. So the difference between a pizza fresh from your oven and one pulled from a greasy delivery box? Unreal. The smell? Unbelievable. Leftovers? Unlikely. Home bake a large Papa's all meat with Canadian bacon, salami, pepperoni, Italian sausage, and ground beef. Just $12. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week and let's get inspired.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy finally Friday. Let's start our sports off with a look at the state tournament in Yakima. To the Sun Dome we go. Day 2 finale. The light shining brightly on sophomore guard Haley Van Lith as the Cashmere Lady Dogs took on the Nooksack Valley Pioneers in a quarterfinal matchup. Van Lith, who got things going with the game's first bucket and the foul, getting things fired up for Cashmere. Well, after she made that three-point play, Van Lith then with the drive, the dish to Claire High for the 2. Cashmere up early. Van Lith and Cashmere had a ton of misses, though, on the night as they shot just 32% from the field. Kemi Kanishka helped with the drive and the layup. Kanishka didn't score much, but she certainly helped out. Van Lith, who scored 14 of her game-high 23 points in the first half with the drive and the 5-footer. Then as time wound down to the first quarter, Van Lith for 3. Cashmere claimed a 17-5 lead at the end of 1. Kanishka only had 4 points, but had a beautiful drive here to start out the second quarter and switching the hands midair for the layup. Then Van Lith, who again with 2 from the top of the key, Cashmere led it 25-9 at the end of the first half. But Nooksack Valley on a tear as Katrina Jamaica caught fire in the third, scoring 11 of her team-high 17 points. Here with the rebound, the putback, and they cut the lead to 35-26 at the end of the third. But then Van Lith coming through with the drive, stopped the bleeding, and that was enough as Cashmere would advance to the semifinals with a 46-35 victory. They'll play LaSalle tonight at 9 o'clock. Cashmere coach Brent Darnell pleased with just getting the win and staying around for another day.
For the last 5 years we've been coming over here. Usually our first night we shoot the ball really, really well. We've had great games our first night in Yakima. We get to the state semis and it always isn't that way. We usually have a poor shooting night the second night in the big game. So maybe this is a turn of the tables where we'll come out tomorrow and fill up the nets. But you know, you get here, you're happy to survive and advance and move on, and everybody's great, everybody's different. You know, it's not like playing somebody in your league where you've played them once or twice and you kind of know what to expect. You know, you watch tape and film and everybody looks slow and on the game film, and you get out there and like, man, they're bigger than what they were on that high definition TV. So yeah, I'm glad our girls grinded it out. They're a tough group, and getting to the state semis is hard. You know, it's hard. We've been here 4 out of 5 times, and our girls know how hard it is. It's hard.
And they're going to face a tough team tonight in LaSalle. The Lightning defeated Zilla in the quarterfinals 57-48 last night. Turning to the B tournament, Antioch girls will play a consolation game today after falling to Pomeroy last night in the quarterfinals. Scrappy Tigers fell by 10, 49-39. Antioch facing Mount Vernon Christian today for a second chance to play on Saturday and still place at the tournament. Also in the 1B tournament, Elmira Cooley Heartline girls bounce back from their consolation bracket today, downing Selkirk. No trouble, 62-29. They'll play for 4th or 6th tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. The ACH boys kept their state championship alive with a 61-51 win over Muckleshoot Tribal School last night in the quarters. That puts the Warriors in a semifinal game today against Pomeroy. The 2B tournament in Spokane, the Brewster boys fell to St. George's 54-40 in last night's quarterfinal. The Bears will face Morton White Pass today for a chance at 4th place on Saturday. To the 4A tournament in the Tacoma Dome, Moses Lake girls are one step closer to playing for a state championship after a 71-60 win over University in the quarterfinals yesterday. Chiefs face Central Valley in today's semis. Well, the Wenatchee Wild are up 1-0 on Merritt after a 4-0 win over the Centennials last night at the Town Toyota Center in front of a small but spirited crowd. The Wolves' Den, Wenatchee jumped out first on a goal by Jasper Weatherby at the 9:03 mark of the first period and never looked back. Arch Ecker had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
Merritt zone, Wenatchee in the white uniforms. They're moving left to right. Here's Weatherby, walks in front, shot, score! Jasper Weatherby, who's been kryptonite to the Merritt Centennials all year. Morton dishes it over for Zach. Back to Morton, one-timer, shoots and he scores! That one may have gone off a Merritt player. It definitely deflected off something, and then it eluded Berger on the glove side. Under the arm, back of the net, power play goal for Wenatchee. Comes back up the near side, feeds it to Morton. Over on the right side for Galambus as he enters his own. Galambus in, shoots, he scores! Iannone and Stocky. They trade a couple of rights, and Stocky goes down, and Iannone swings a couple of rights as he was going down, and they finish it off. Slap back around, there's a drop pass. Weatherby in front for Vanderbeck, and he scores! The Centennials come up empty-handed here tonight in game 1. And the Wild do a good job of maintaining their composure and not getting drawn into the foolishness down the stretch.
Yeah, very scrappy game last night, especially that third period with the Wild up 4-0. It was just fist fights all over the place. They'll play game 2 Saturday night at 7. In the meantime, the staff at the Town Toyota Center changing things over for tonight's opening ceremonies for the Special Olympics Winter Games. The Wenatchee Wild will help welcome the teams during the Parade of Athletes, the opening ceremony emceed by this guy. It starts tonight at 7 o'clock. Then I'll be heading back down to Yakima to cover the state tournament. By the way, be sure and watch our website as well as our Facebook page for all the tournament results as the weekend continues. And we wish our teams the best of luck. That's Sports News. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. More than 1,500 Special Olympic athletes competing this weekend in alpine, basketball, cheerleading, figure skating, Nordic, snowboarding, and speed skating will represent Washington hometowns ranging from Walla Walla to Wenatchee at the 2018 Special Olympics Winter Games. Local organizer Carol Andre says the event will also bring scores of Special Olympics volunteers to the Valley.
There are 400 or 500 coaches and chaperones, close to 600 volunteers, and then spectators. So it's a huge event for the Valley. And all these sports run simultaneously on this weekend. So we've got 16 different venue sites running simultaneously. So it takes a huge amount of volunteer support.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And then we have peripheral events like the opening ceremonies at the Town Toyota Center and the big dance at the Convention Center. And we have Olympic Town for the athletes. 8 Kiwanis clubs are making 2,000 lunches every morning.
Oh, wow.
It's
cool.
a huge operation, but it's awesome.
Opening ceremonies will be held at the Town Toyota Center in Wenatchee beginning at 7 o'clock tonight and will feature Mayor Frank Kuntz from the city of Wenatchee and Mayor Steve Lacey from East Wenatchee. And a law enforcement torch run will also be included. As Eric mentioned, he will serve as the master of ceremonies at tonight's event. Well, the Special Olympics Winter Games has also evolved into a cash cow for the local Wenatchee economy with hundreds of thousands of dollars in trickle-down benefits. Patrick Norland heads up the sports tourism arm of the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce. He crunched the numbers on a recent Wake Up Wenatchee Valley program with host Dan Kuntz.
Special Olympics brings in $781,599 of economic impact. And that
$750,000.
Yeah, and that was last year's numbers, and you know it's not slowing down. I mean, it just keeps churning every year. It's full every year. That equals 2,688 room nights. So that's hotel rooms. So it's huge for our hoteliers. Obviously, the equations that we use for our formulas, that we use to determine these numbers. Matt used very conservative numbers as well. So basically when we quote a number, that's for sure. And it was actually probably much higher.
Right. And that's what you should do in your job. Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, you hear these numbers and you think they're incredible. It's like, just realize they're probably a lot higher than that too.
Norland also says sports tourism in general generates over $10 million for the local economy each year. We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
If you're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you, look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing honey blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
How about having majestic mountains, a beautiful shoreline, and 26 acres of lush walking trails be the backdrop of your special event? Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp has cabins, meeting spaces, and a lodge with a kitchen that will accommodate large gatherings. Our staff at Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp will work with you to ensure that your wedding, retreat, class reunion, or birthday is amazing. Reserve your day today.
Introducing the lightweight shot starter. Only on the 2018 Ski-Doo mountain sleds. With next generation engine and platform. For the unmatched power and handling to own the next ride. Ski-Doo. What matters is what's next. Get 4-year coverage or 0% financing for 36 months.
Time now for a recap of some of tonight's top stories. Last night, Governor Jay Inslee put a halt to a bill seeking to exempt Washington lawmakers from the state's Public Records Act just hours before the bill was set to become law. Legislators also agreed not to take another vote to override that veto. Inslee issued a statement saying, quote, "I believe the legislature's overwhelming vote on the bill was a good faith attempt to increase disclosure and transparency." Letters signed by House and Senate Democrats and delivered to Inslee said legislators made a mistake by failing to go through a full public hearing process. In his statement, Inslee went on to say he told legislators he would let the bill become law if they delivered it with enough votes to override a veto, but added, quote, "That was before I saw the process, which failed to meet public expectations for openness and delivered a bill that fell short." A one-car crash near Locomotive Park in Wenatchee around rush hour this morning completely destroyed an older model Dodge Dakota pickup and snarled traffic there for a time. Captain Edgar Reinfeld of the Wenatchee Police Department explains what happened.
Before 8 o'clock this morning, a vehicle that was westbound on the George Siller Bridge took the second off-ramp into Wenatchee. So the first one drops down to Wenatchee Avenue. The second one goes on to Crescent Street and connects over to Ferry Street. The vehicle appears to have been going quite a bit too fast for the off-ramp and skipped off the Jersey wall on the left side of the street as you come off the off-ramp a couple of times before skipping over and rolling onto its side inside Locomotive Park in the south end of Wenatchee. The vehicle tore up a bunch of fence and actually killed one small tree that had been planted in the park in the last couple of years.
Reinfeld says the driver of the truck was 33-year-old Brady Muschlitz of East Wenatchee. Muschlitz was not seriously hurt in the accident, and Captain Reinfeld said as the crash investigation continues, Muschlitz most likely will be charged with speeding. Time now for a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get into those details, let's take again once a look outside our weather window, looking down at the beautiful Wenatchee Valley from our Omi Garden camera. Just a dusting of light snow on the mountains around Wenatchee. When I lived in Alaska, they used to call that termination dust. So maybe that means winter's on its way out and spring is on its way in. But our skies cleared out and it was a nice day this afternoon. What we're seeing is a slow moving area of low pressure. You can see it there just off the coast of Washington and Oregon. It continues to pump up moisture into parts of Washington from the southwest, keeping our state at least this morning on the wet side. We did experience clearing skies throughout the afternoon here in north central Washington as that large weather feature moved off to the northeast. For Saturday, as that storm system continues to move out of the region, we could still see just a slight chance for maybe some residual moisture late in the day on Saturday and on Saturday night. By Sunday, though, a large area of high pressure currently in the desert southwest will slide north, bringing us dry and mild weather on Sunday and right through the middle part of next week with afternoon high temperatures right around 50 degrees. Here's a look at that forecast now. And tonight we'll drop down to 31, not too bad. Mostly cloudy for your Saturday. As I mentioned, a 20% chance for an isolated shower in 46. And then things just turned really nice. Sunday through Tuesday, mostly sunny skies those 3 days. Highs in the upper 40s to near 50 degrees. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, a 30% chance for late in the day showers. Highs those days, once again, right around 50 degrees. Well, we leave you tonight with video of new Wenatchee police officer Donnie Graves, who went through taser certification training this week and volunteered to take a full charge from the taser, including probes.
You want to stop, say stop, we'll switch it to save. Okay. Okay? The command will be 1, 2, 3, taser. And on taser, I'm going to press the trigger. Okay. Okay? 1, 2, 3, taser.
Work, dude.
Ouch. If you have a video of the day you'd like to see on the NCW Life Evening News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you do see news happening out there, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. Also, keep it right here here on the NCW Life channel Monday morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and News with Steve Hare. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
This is TV. This is TV Set Free. TV everywhere from Localtel sets you free to watch what you want, where you want. Catch your favorite networks, including live TV, ready to watch on any web-connected device for no extra charge. That's TV Set Free. Enjoy the extra value Localtel delivers with TV